Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday, March 13th edition of my YouTube channel. I did not make any trades today. No paper trades, no real money trades. I had a busy work day. Had meetings most of the morning and the afternoon. Um, I didn't really see anything appealing this morning. The one I did see that I was going to try to get in, it just didn't quite work out. Like I said, I just got too busy with work. Here's SPY. The SPY charts all three time frames. The stochastics were a little bit high, so I did not want to get into calls at the open with the stochastics being that high. We opened right about here. I kind of thought we would come up to here, and you see we did have a bearish engulfing candle right at resistance. I kind of thought we would pull back, and I was hoping to get a pullback to here. I was wanting to pull back down to this R1 pivot and look for an entry then, but it didn't happen. And you see here, we had the bearish engulfing at a resistance point, but with a strong market, that would have failed, and I had no intentions of playing puts. The only way I would have played puts is if we got down, way down to 278, 279 range. This wouldn't have been too bad of a play right here, bouncing off of the 10 EMA. We had this yellow line as today's open. We came down and bounced off of the 10 EMA and today's open, but it was right after a bearish engulfing candle, so it's kind of a mixed signal there. Again, here we came down and bounced off the 10 EMA. That would have been another good entry, but there's no other support. It's too far away from this for me. I'm not interested in doing that. As I've said before, I'm a low risk player. I'd like to take, I like to minimize my risk, and I'm not going to rely on just a 10 EMA by itself as support. So you see, we came up here, we got up to this pivot. We kind of fluttered. We got a little bit above it, but I wasn't going to get in here because I know we were just about. I think the previous high was, I think it was like 281.84 or something. Right around here, something was a previous high from a couple weeks ago. Let's take a look here. Right here, 281.87 was a previous high from a few weeks ago. So 281.87, and this pivot point was pretty close to that. We got above that 281.87, but I don't want to jump in calls when we're this high. It's just too extended for me to get in calls here, and I didn't want to play puts on a resistance or on a strong day like today. So I just sat tight, didn't do anything today. I know a lot of traders say it, but I know Davis says it quite a bit, that sometimes the best trade is no trade. And because of the work day that I had, well, we got a big pullback here. Not sure what happened there, if some news came out or something, somebody tweeted something, but that's a pretty big pullback in a very short amount of time. Could just be profit taking, but yeah, I almost entered puts right here because we had a doji right at the pivot, but the next candle was green, so I stayed away. Yeah, look, I was going to show you the Netflix chart, but look at this. Dropped 60 cents in, I don't know, a couple minutes. Lots of volume. It could be profit taking. We're kind of getting overextended. I'm going to be very careful playing calls anytime in the next few days or at these levels. take a look at Netflix. Netflix was one that I was looking at. The problem was I didn't quite catch it in time. We opened up, pulled right back to this pivot point, and then we bounced. You'll see this a lot. You'll see us bounce off of a pivot point and come up and come back and retest, or not necessarily pivot point, a support level. Bounce off a support level, come back, and then retest that same support level. This would have been, either one of these would have been a good entry. I think when I first saw it, we were up about here, and it was too far away from here for me to be interested. I just never got the chance to get in. I wasn't watching it when we pulled back down to here. One of the pitfalls of having to work a full-time job too. So I missed this, but I was, like I said, I did see it right here. I was more interested in getting in down around these levels. It didn't pull back to here until up here, and I just wasn't watching it at that time. Another one that I kind of looked at briefly was Starbucks. I kind of like this because we were floating right around this pivot here. Floating around this pivot, and then we took off. But again, I was busy watching Netflix that time. I was jumping back and forth. Didn't get an entry. I wasn't real concerned about getting an entry in anything today because, like I said, I think we're a little bit overextended, and I don't. I'd be very careful right now on calls. And my mindset today was kind of, if I don't trade, I'm happy with that. So, with my schedule today and with the market and as extended as it is, I just kind of wasn't looking real hard for anything. There was another chart I was looking at. I think it was Etsy. I was looking at that this morning too. I'm not sure. I don't remember if it was Etsy or not. Maybe it wasn't Etsy. It was Spotify. You notice a lot of times when you click on these charts, these watch list, your stuff disappears. I had to re-add stuff to here today because a lot of it disappeared. I was down to like 5 things on here, and that's one of the things I've noticed about thinkorswim is I don't know why it does that. It's not the first time I've had it happen. What was it? Spotify. Maybe it was Shop. But yeah, it might have been Shop. But anyway, one of these other ones I was taking a look at too. But in the end, I didn't get into anything. You can see here we had bullish engulfing here, bullish engulfing here, bearish engulfing here, bullish engulfing here. This is actually called a dark cloud cover here. Dark cloud cover. The true definition of a dark cloud cover, it comes after a green candle. It opens higher than the close of that candle and closes at least halfway through that candle. So this is barely a dark cloud cover. Usually pretty indicative of a pullback. Didn't happen there. This would have been something if there would have been a resistance point right here. It definitely would have weighed a little bit heavier on me as far as whether or not to enter. But yeah, it's you got to kind of put some indicators together. You have the candlestick, but that's all you have right there. If you have some other indicator to go along with it, it might help it out, but make it easier to make a decision. But not really much to look at today. I just don't like these days when everything just runs. It's hard to find an entry that I'm comfortable with. you just I just don't want to jump in it just anywhere. This here's too far away from support for me to jump in. This here I don't want to jump in puts here. We didn't really get another decent calls entry indication. You can look at the 310 EMA crosses. There was a cross right here as indicated by this spike. We had a cross right here to the upside. You could have entered calls here. You would have, been negative a little bit for a little bit there, but you would have eventually made money on them. But again, they're not. There weren't two indicators I could put together to justify an entry. I like to have at least two indicators that tell me it's a go before I jump in, and I didn't see that anywhere today. So today I just sat on my hands, did some work, my full-time job, regular work. My paper trading account, I didn't make any trades, but it's actually down $16 today, $17. My New Age beverage is up $5, and my SMH credit spread is down $19. That's a call spread, call credit spread, so I want the price to come down, so I'm waiting for SMH to pull back. I'm actually down quite a bit on that one right now, but again, I'm still playing around with these credit spreads, still trying to understand them. Not understand them, just practicing with them, playing around. So that's pretty much it for today. I didn't pay much attention to the charts. I actually kind of forgot, not really forgot, but I kind of put this on the back burner, recording another video today because I didn't make any trades. There wasn't anything that interesting. But I kind of when I started this thing, I kind of said that I would try to do a video every day. I had a few minutes here that I could do a quick video. It's not just the trades you enter that you can learn from, it's the ones you don't enter you can learn from too, and learn why you don't enter and why it's okay to not enter. And today was one of those days. This here coming up it might not be too bad of a calls entry. Come down and tested this 100 simple moving average. We don't quite have a hammer candle. I don't think we're going to get a hammer candle because this body's already too big. You remember, hammer candle, the body has to be, the tail has to be at least twice the size of the body, and the close has to be really close to the high of the candle. There can be just a real slight wick sticking out, but not much. And with the size of this body, to get back up to there, we're not going to be able to double. The only way that this would happen is if this candle pulls all the way back to about here and then shoots back up before the close. I don't see it happen, so this will not be an actual hammer candle. And there's the close of the candle, so it's not an actual hammer candle, but it does have a long tail. I'm pretty sure we're going to come back down and test this again, test this simple moving average line. I can see that happening because it's not a hammer, so it's not gonna pop up and show up on scanners for market makers or algorithms or whatever. So that being said, this wouldn't be an entry for me, but I do like that long tail. If we would come back down and test this again and hold it, at that point I may be looking to take calls, but I'm not going to do it. My record after 3 o'clock isn't very good. I don't have much luck after 3 o'clock, and it's just not worth taking that chance for me. So I'm not going to make any trades today. But like I said, there is some education, stuff you can pick up from not making a trade. If you look at this chart, and I know there's a lot of people in the chat room today made good money on SPY calls, and good for them. I love seeing other people make money, but for my trading style, I just didn't see anything worth it. I almost bought calls right here towards the open, If we weren't so extended already, I probably would have. But with all three time frames, stochastics being an overbought, it just wasn't. It just wasn't worth it to me. You see here, we were way above 80 on the 3 minute. We were above 80 on the 5 minute. We were above 80 on the 10 minute. Just not worth it for me to make an entry there. So I was hoping to get a pullback down to here, come up, test this, come down to here, and get a nice bounce, but it didn't happen. I had other things, like I said, I had other things to worry about as far as my job. So I kind of took today off from even paying attention to charts much. For the first half hour, I kept my eyes open looking for something, and after that, I just kind of gave up on it and figured I'll just wait for another day. But that's the video for today. And make this a nice short and sweet video. The Netflix, like I said, that would have been a good one, but I just didn't. By the time I saw it, it was a little bit too late, and I didn't see it. I wasn't watching it when it pulled back the second time. So it is what it is. I'm still up for the week. Green Monday, green Tuesday, flat today. So I'm okay. I'm green for the week. I'm happy. So that being said, we'll see if we can do something tomorrow, and I'll try to get a live trade on my real account recorded, but just didn't happen today. I'll see everybody tomorrow, and good luck trading, and be patient. Thanks.